Last week in Wisconsin, we originally had a 5-car lead train led by Tony Flores and Kevin Fanning, until pit stops occurred. Several miscalculated strategies and a mistake by Flores opened the door for none other than reigning champion Aiden Mehta. Mehta took the lead and never looked back, securing his 8th straight victory in as many appearances. In AM, Daniel Coletta managed to hold off Jeff Johnson for the class victory after Raymond Rodriguez's promotion to the pro class. Will Mehta continue his domination, or will the field finally catch him? We go green in Texas next. Our venue this evening is the virtual Circuit of the Americas. Built in 2012, this 3.426-mile, 20-turn circuit was inspired by several famous racing circuits, such as Silverstone, Hockenheim, and Istanbul Park in Turkey, but it also has its own original legacy. With 122 feet of elevation change in total, it's a roller coaster of a ride that starts with the massive climb up to Turn 1, usually a spot of contention throughout the night. The format for the SimCAR Grand-Am Series is as follows. We have just started our 10-minute qualifying session, and that will set the grid for a 60-minute race tonight. The 16th season of the SimCAR Grand-Am Series continues tonight live on ASN TV, with Bryan Sawyer in the production truck and former SimCAR champion Ray Kingsbury next to me in the commentary box. My name is Josh Mertz as we welcome you to Austin, Texas. The SimCAR Grand-Am Series on ASN TV is brought to you by Penguin RC Simulation. Trusted by racers for their unbeatable support, rock-solid product guarantees, and high-performance sim gear. When you want equipment you can rely on lap after lap, Penguin RC Simulation delivers every time and is proud to present the Penguin RC Simulation Drivers' Championship. By Lambert Designs, the official graphics partner for SimCAR. From promotional materials to custom paint liveries, Lambert Designs has it all. For more information, join the NASA Discord and contact Brandon Lambert. And finally, by Whiplash SimCams, bringing you every angle, every lap, no matter the track, car, or series. Visit facebook.com/WSimCams, and thank you to Andrew Cardinale IV for camera support all season. Mr. Kingsbury, welcome back to the comm box. You missed last week. I forgive you. You have finally moved into your house. What are we thinking about Circuit of the Americas? Did you get a chance to catch last week's race at Road America as well?
I did not, Josh, but I did catch a couple of the highlights. It looked like it was a little dicey for some people, but it looked also like the lead group, quite frankly, had quite the breakaway. The 5 of them were on pretty similar bracket of pace there. So hopefully tonight we'll have a few guys that are grouped up and fighting for that lead. But yeah, I mean, it's a very different track than Road America, right? That's a very natural, flowy circuit, and here we're at COTA, which is that modern F1 style design, and 2 very different tracks, but 2 very exciting tracks.
So one thing that I'm noticing right off the rip, I talked about Aiden Mehta in my opening just a minute ago. He's not here right now. He's not in the session. So I wonder, who does this open the door to? A lot of guys might not like this track, Circuit of the Americas, a different track than Road America, like you had just alluded to. We'll just have to see what happens in qualifying as everybody beginning their first lap. Raymond Rodriguez will be the first car to begin that lap up the hill, Turn 1. Like we said, 122 feet of elevation change in total. It's a massively wide corner. We will notice calamity all night long. And now down the hill through Turn 2, heading towards the sector, which is a lot like Maggots, Beckett's, and Chapel from Silverstone in the UK. Don't get too far to driver's right or left over the red and white curbs. You'll get track cut penalties. And rounding our way through Turn 6, through Turn 7. A marvelous circuit in Austin, Texas. Colson Pelletier in the 1 car, a new name that I have not noticed yet, in a Ferrari right behind Rodriguez, and Matt Kingsbury in the 21 behind these two, as all of the field now on a flying lap. At the far end of the circuit, turn number 11, and now, Ray, this over half-mile straightaway down to Turn 12, another good overtaking opportunity.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good overtaking opportunities at COTA. A lot of people assume it's a very technical track, which it is. They also think it's a very high-speed track, because it is, and it's got long straightaways. But I don't think I've ever run a race at COTA where I haven't run max downforce, Josh. And I've run quite a few at COTA, including, I think, one that I won in the first time we ran this track. So Yeah, I think really the thing is that you've gotta drive it smooth. You've got to look after the tires, especially in the sweepers that come in the last sector. Those are the turns that like to cook your tires off. And I think the person that can look after their tires while holding speed and keeping close proximity to the cars ahead of them is going to be the one that's the most dangerous. Because you can pass people with slipstream, but whether or not you can keep the tires under you, that's another question.
Final corner called Andretti for Raymond Rodriguez across the line. We've seen overtaking maneuvers everywhere on this circuit, and we will see them tonight. Benchmark set, 2-minute 10.411 for the Puerto Rican, 2-minute 11.499 for Matt Kingsbury. Coulson Pelletier, 2:14.957. Darius Timms, his first lap does not count. Scott Lindgren will be the next car to set a lap time. Right behind him is Tucker Lindgren, then Bryan Sohn. So we'll have 3 more cars setting a lap time. P2 for Scott Lindgren at a 2-minute 10.434. Tucker Lindgren, 2-minute 11.907. Bryan Sohn, 2:11.107. He goes to third. And Scott Lindgren finished second last week in the AM class, trying to maintain that pace as he rounds the S's in the middle sector. Clinton Funk crosses the line to end his first lap. He goes to sixth quick at a 2:14.180. We have Kieran Lifflander next up in the 20. And that corner that Kieran just exited, it is modeled after turn 8 of Istanbul Park. There's 3 or 4 apexes on that. We've seen so many passes in Formula One, for example, in that exceptional corner. And Clinton, is he doing vehicular gymnastics or just driving off the road? Kieran crosses the line to begin his first lap. Melanie Prue, 2:12.494 for the Canadian. She goes to sixth. Eric Dubois, I believe making his debut this season in the 000, crossing the line in the Mustang. And he runs a 2:14.497. And then it is right back to Raymond Rodriguez in the 129. Be sure to join the conversation in our chat. We'll take a look, answer any questions, have some good banter back and forth. And let's see what Ray will run across the line to end his second lap. 3 minutes left in qualifying, 2-minute 10.332 for Ray. And he was promoted to the pro class, and he has, well, now he only has a 1/10 of a second over Matt Kingsbury. I was about to say he had a second over your brother, Ray, but Matt's looking good. Darius Timms to the top of the board in the 31 by 1/2.
Yeah, it's interesting to me we haven't seen Cody Cosgrove or Anthony Flores take to the track yet. I heard
Ryan
they were focusing
P1. Sorry,
Ryan
Ray.
P1.
Wow. In the 0-3, 2-minute 9.933. It's again by 1/2 of a second.
Well, I was going to say, I heard that they were focusing on race sets. They weren't too worried about the qualifying sets. It is an hour-long race. And I think they were kind of looking forward to just watching lap 1 unfold from the back row.
That's fair. With turn 1 being as wide as it is, there's potential chaos. Is Benny Archer joining us in chat? Not much practice. Nonsense. Get on track. How much carnage in turn 1? I don't know, but I think we're all ready for it. If you avoid it. Well, it's wide enough to avoid it. So let's take a look at Kieran Lifflander in the 20. He's right in front of Melanie Prue, but he stays out of the way of her. She's on a flying lap in 7th in the Mustang. And Kieran Lifflander will begin, I'd say his first lap, but he's clocked his first lap. It didn't count. So let's see what he can run in the 20. It's minute 20 left on the clock. Flying laps will count if you start a lap before the clock expires. So Lifflander, one of the 5 cars that have not set a lap time yet. Rodriguez rounds Andretti.
Little to no chance he'll make it to the line unless he's got Doctor Strange and portals, to teleport. But
2-minute 9.749. It's P1 again for Raymond Rodriguez by a tenth and a half. Matt Kingsbury's third lap does not count. Colson Pelletier, he goes to sixth at a 2-minute 10.506. Darius Timms, 2-minute 9.896. He's a tenth away. Where is Bryan Son? Scott Lindgren to P1 at a 2-minute 9.745. Across the line for Bryan Son. Can he improve as well? No. Scott Lindgren has provisional pole by 0.005 of a second.
All these guys are going to get another lap.
All of them are on the 129.
Put himself.
Does not count. And Eric Dubois right. Tony Flores, Cody Crosgrove, Brandon and Kieran Lifflander. Penultimate corner for Eric Dubois. Raymond Rodriguez has exited the stadium section, modeled after the section in Hockenheim in Germany. Across the line for Dubois. His lap does not count. Lifflander, the lap does not count. Raymond Rodriguez, final corner, very oversteery in the BMW in the 129. He's looking for 0.005 of a second. Such close margins for pole position. Across the line, 2-minute 10.0. Will it be pole position for Scott Lindgren? Matt Kingsbury responding, 2-minute 9.558. No, it won't. Matt Kingsbury to the top of the board.
Oh, here comes Scott Lindgren. Got one more corner here. See where
Final
that lap
corner
falls.
In the 8, he's looking for under 0.2 of a second over Matt Kingsbury across the line. 2-minute 9.735. He matches his best lap. Does not improve. Tucker Lindgren in 7th at the moment. The last card across the line. His fourth lap is a 2-minute 12.376. And that is qualifying. Done and dusted in Austin. Matt Kingsbury, P1. Scott Lindgren, Raymond Rodriguez, Darius Timms, Bryan Son, Colson Pelletier, Tucker Lindgren, Melanie Prue, Eric Dubois, Clinton Funk, and the 5 cars that did not set a lap time, Tony Flores, Cody Crosgrove, Brandon Lambert, Tyler Manoes, and Kieran Lifflander. So before we jump away to our break, let's take a look at the championships coming in to this second round. And it's pretty interesting with several cars not appearing. Like we talked about, Aiden Meta at the top of the table with the win last week. He will certainly use his drop week. Kevin Fanning also not here. Tony Flores, Matt Kingsbury 3rd and 4th. Darius Timms, Raymond Rodriguez. No Coletta, no Johnson. So about a 5-5 split across the cars that are here. And let's take a look. Do we have the AM standings as well, Brian? Let's see. What do you have for me? Team Silverback. We go to AM. Jeff Johnson, Daniel Coletta, Scott Lindgren, Marwan Moftah not here, Melanie Prue, Bryan Son, Kevin Garcia not here, Benny Archer, Joe Pascucci, and Chris Lunan rounding out the top 10. And in teams, it's Silverback Racing at the top with 48 tied with Penguin RC Sim, Shift E Racing, Team Alta, Team Watson Racing, Grassroots Racing Lawnmowers, that's great. Move Over at Speedy Time, Quoco Racing, Lime Tree, and KLR Black Phantom. We're going to step aside for just a couple moments. On the other side of the break, we'll be gridding and getting set to roll for the race in Texas.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser-scanned replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
The SimCAR Grand-Am Series on ASN TV, brought to you by Penguin RC Simulation, Lambert Designs, and Whiplash SimCams. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe to ASN TV, no matter the platform, at ASN TV USA. And if you'd like your content broadcasted, you can contact us at asnTVUSA.com. And if you'd like to race, we have something for everyone at NASA Sim Racing, NASASimRacing.com for any and all information. Also, NASA and ASN will be on location for the second annual Sim Gaming Expo in Schaumburg, Illinois, this September 18th through the 20th. Get your tickets and all other information at simgamingexpo.com. As we welcome you back to the second round of the 16th season of the SimCAR Grand-Am Series from Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. With Bryan Sawyer in the production truck, Ray Kingsbury next to me in the commentary box. My name is Josh Mertz for ASN TV. Let's take a look at the grid before we go green in Texas. On pole position, Matt Kingsbury, car number 21 in the Ferrari. Scott Lindgren leading in the AM class will be on the outside pole. Raymond Rodriguez, Darius Timms on the second row of the grid. Brian Sohn and Colson Pelletier. Tucker Lindgren, Melanie Prue, Eric Dubois, and Clinton Funk rounding out the top 10. And Tyler Manoes, Cody Crossgrove, Brandon Lambert, Kieran Lifflander, Tony Flores, 11th through 15th. They did not set a lap time in qualifying. Before we go green, let's take a look really quick at upcoming programming if possible. We'll speed run through it, and then we will get to racing in Texas. Our next stream, Sunday Night Lights for NASA Rallycross at Knockhill in Scotland. That's 9 o'clock Eastern Time. I think Brian will be there. I'm sure I'm going to be forced to be there instead of driving. And then it's SimCAR again next Thursday at the Miami International Autodrome. That's a new one that F1 runs. That's 9 o'clock Eastern. Brian, Ray, and myself for that one. I'm excited for that. I've only watched the F1 cars there, so I'm curious to see what the GTs will do. What is happening in the... Cody Crossgrove and Tony Flores are way off the pack here. Now they are catching back up.
A little tire warming in, it looks like.
Maybe they want to avoid the chaos that's going to happen in turn one. Who knows? 15 cars getting set for an hour of racing. And with a couple of the guys that ran last week not in the field tonight, it opens up the door for any one of these guys to steal a victory. I think it's been a while since Matt has won a race. You can correct me on that. Scott Lindgren in the 8, Darius Timms in the 31. Plenty of opportunity for these guys in this field. As we get set to roll, safety car will head to the pit lane, and the field will be in the hands of Matt Kingsbury and Scott Lindgren. Kieran Lifflander has missed the start. Dare I say it, that might be a phenomenal move for the 20. It's a hot day, 87 degrees, 110 degrees track temp. Let's get ready to race in Texas. Green flag. What a jump for Matt Kingsbury off the line as we now head up the hill, Big Red as they call it, to turn number 1, with Kingsbury a couple of car lengths ahead of Lindgren. Rodriguez to the inside of Timms takes the spot. Sohn and Pelletier. Prue hits Sohn in the back of the Ferrari from the Mustang. Lindgren, Flores, Crossgrove, Funk, Dubois, and exiting the pit lane, Kieran Lifflander in the back of the field. Matt Kingsbury already 3/4 of a second ahead of Scott Lindgren.
Cody Crossgrove already looking to the outside of Clinton Funk coming through the chicane.
I think him not running a qualifying lap is going to hinder him. Yes, it's a long race, but of
Yeah,
course
I don't know what the plan was.
we talk about on the opening lap of any race, that's the best opportunity to pass. It sounds so silly to say, right? So you're hindered in the back of the field trying to make moves, and the field, he's already 4 seconds off of off the lead to the inside. In turn 11 goes Crossgrove and Flores trying to make moves. Crossgrove takes the spot on Funk. Flores takes the spot on Lindgren. And Kingsbury already a second ahead of Scott Lindgren. Down the back straightaway, Raymond Rodriguez in the 129 behind Scott Lindgren, and no moves. Down into turn 12, Crossgrove thought about it, sent it on Tucker Lindgren. Can he take the spot? Lindgren has to back out of it to avoid going off the road, but Cody gave it back. Good sportsmanship. Now we make our way.
And then we'll dive in the inside there. He's sticking his nose. Clinton's not giving it up too easily.
Crossgrove tries it again on Tucker. They nearly touch again through the stadium section and move the 9 up a place to the 9th position. Rounding the turns 17 and 18, Melanie Prue a little bit squirrely through that, loses a place to Tony Flores. Scott Lindgren, Raymond Rodriguez, Darius Timms. Looks like this might be, with Colson Pelletier, with Bryan Sohn, 5 cars under a blanket. It's a lot like last week as Matt Kingsbury leads at the end of the first lap. It's a tricky track in general, Ray, but then when you have that ridiculous 109 track temp, it gets very difficult to drive. Sohn looks to the inside. Pelletier closes the door.
Yeah, it's a slick track. I'm not seeing 105 track temp. Am I? I don't know.
Unless Bryan's timing is lying to me. It says 109 degrees Fahrenheit, 43 degrees centigrade. Partly cloudy, 87 degree ambient, no chance of rain.
Yeah, I was
Very
looking at
hot
the
in
ambient
Texas.
temperature. I didn't realize that was not track temp.
It's okay. We all don't know how to read at ASN, so we all just figure it out as we go. 1.1 seconds up front. Matt Kingsbury ahead of Scott Lindgren. Raymond Rodriguez trying to make contact with him and Timms. Timms, little wobbly in the hairpin in the 31, and he loses about 0.7 of a second.
Cody Crossgrove already up to 8th position. Just moved by Melanie Prue there. Gonna be chasing the tail end of this lead group. You see you've got Matt Kingsbury out front, but then you got a trail of 6 to 7
Prue's
cars
not
behind
done, Ray.
him.
Prue to the inside of Crossgrove into turn number 12, and she couldn't get the spot taken from Crossgrove. Had to back out of it. Mercedes versus Ford Mustang.
Brave driving for Melanie. You can kind of see the difference in the cars, Josh. That Mercedes really good through the flowy sections. He's got it well planted, but heavy braking zones just aren't really his forte right now, I would say. The car likes a nice straight exit, and when you've got cars coming to your inside, you can't really do that.
As I'm just noticing the gap ticking upwards for Matt Kingsbury at the front of the field. Now 1.3 seconds. Raymond Rodriguez 1.7 back from the lead. And the ticker, it was updated. Okay, so Raymond Rodriguez is labeled as a pro car. Green is the AM cars, red are the pro cars. We'll keep an eye on that. Scott Lindgren looking really good over Bryan Sohn. I know we're super early. Looking really good to maintain that lead so far. Clinton Funk is driving one-handed because of his injury last week. And he commented in the chat, "You better not be listening and driving. I'll be very upset."
Drives better one-handed than two-handed, I would say, based on what I saw last season, because he's holding his own right now. Only a couple seconds off the leaders. But, I mean, he's on pace with the cars right around him.
Someone that has confused me. Here in Lifflander, he started last from the pit lane like we documented. He has not made any gap on Eric Dubois in the 000 or Clinton in the 122.
Well, that's because he's behind them, Josh.
You know, the worst part is I didn't even hear what you said if you insulted me, Ray. And if Bryan's laughing, it had to have been funny. I hate you both with the most love. That's what I'm going to say. 1.2 from Matt to Scott Lindgren. That has not changed. Ray Rodriguez trying to find a way around through turn 15 into 16, 17, and 18. Triple apex corner. I don't think we did. Did we ride on board for a lap? Pick a car, Bryan. We did. Never mind. We already did. See,
the fastest car on track, technically Matt Kingsbury, but Tony Flores is mired in traffic and pretty much on the same lap times. He and Cody started at the back. Cody has not gotten up to speed as quick as Tony has. You know, that Merc does fire off a little slower. Tires get up to tempo a little slower, but if he wants to compete with the pace Tony and Matt are showing, he's going to have to get some giddy up.
One start.
208.9 from
Raymond
Flores.
Rodriguez.
Well, 208.6 from Cosgrove, so maybe he heard me.
Rodriguez up by a couple tenths of a second compared to Scott Lindgren. We've got Flores and Pelletier battling as well through the S's. We ride on board Dubois in the Mustang. Got passed by Kieran Lifflander in the 20. I told Benny Archer to get on track during qualifying. He says, get on track, he says. Not enough time to load up now, Mr. President. Don't call me Mr. President. Lambert's called me Kim Jong
Matt's
Josh,
just missed an apex. Not off the track by any means, but he's just given up a few tenths of a second for sure. Got Lindgren closing that gap just a little here.
Rodriguez, Lindgren, and Kingsbury. Kingsbury in the Ferrari, Lindgren in the Porsche, Rodriguez in the BMW. Three different manufacturers representing the podium places early on here in Texas. Is Lindgren cooking? Potentially. We will see. Lap time-wise, he matched it. Gap is 3/4 of a second. It was 1.2 when we looked last time.
Flores and
Rodriguez,
side by side.
Flores trying the over-under. He almost had the bite. He had too good of a bite off of turn number 15 and had to give it up through the triple apex where Kimi Räikkönen and Max Verstappen came together in 2015. Off the road was Verstappen that day. Flores did not do that and did not take the position on Pelletier. Rodriguez and Lindgren and Timms. I don't know if I was one of these three, Ray. Would you work together to try and catch Matt? Would you be selfish and try and just pass your competitor? Would you do both? I don't know.
Well, I think Scott Lindgren has got the right idea. That lap times and chase. Whether he's got the pace to do it is unknown. I think Rodriguez and Timms, I haven't really seen them do too much attacking, but you know, really, Josh, you got to take the track position in the clean air when it gets offered to you. As Darius Timms took way more clean air than he probably wanted to right there. He just went airborne over the second curb of the chicane. That's going to let Pelletier and Flores, though, close up that gap a little. So this is really going to be a 5-car train here for second through really 8th. Not even a 5-car train. It's a 6-car train.
Right there as well, yeah. And Cody, well, technically Cody Cosgrove's even there, so it's at max a 7-car train. Flores looks to the inside on Pelletier. He's going to send it, Ray. Can Flores get the car stopped? He can. And he takes the spot.
He's going to be vulnerable.
But Pelletier will have the slipstream. He immediately defends. Oh, no. Scott Lindgren has fallen out of the server with a connection issue. He falls from second. Commentator's curse. Pelletier gaining on Flores. Looking to the inside. Flores tried to send him to the inside. And Pelletier takes the spot, but Flores will have the run off the corner. We will still be side by side, exiting turn 12. And Flores almost had him cleared in 13. Into 14, he'll have the inside line. Slower corner into turn 15. Pelletier can do an over-under. Turned in too soon, loses the place. Flores up to the 4th position. And definitely F's in chat for Scott Lindgren. He was looking
Fortunately,
good.
in the mix of that, us watching that in the background, I don't know if you guys saw it, but Bryan and Cody were dicing it up, and it ended up with Bryan spun off the track.
Feel free to interrupt me, good sir. I'm in my own world, focusing on all this other stuff. Focusing on Flores and Pelletier. Apologies, we're missing that one. So the gap now is Matt Kingsbury 2 seconds ahead of Raymond Rodriguez. And what this does now to the AM class battle, speaking of Bryan Sohn, he's still leading the AM class. Cosgrove looking on, around he went.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just over-aggressive driving or if he really just misinterpreted what Sohn's doing there. It did look like Sohn came in on a shallow line. I think Cosgrove was hoping he would go wider, like normal, and he'd be able to kind of present a move and happen. And kind of put that on the following car, but I haven't really looked at the braking points or anything yet. So hard to judge. I'm not a steward. Yet.
Overextended turn 10, but Rodriguez missed turn 11 side by side for the second spot between the Ferrari and the BMW. Is Timms coming across onto Rodriguez, pushing him nearly off the road. He's got 2 tires on the asphalt, 2 on the curb. It could not be fun for the force feedback in his hands. They touch on the straightaway, battling for second. Scott Lindgren back in the session, but he'll be way down the order, obviously, after that issue. And Darius Timms to second for the moment.
Yeah, Tim's trying to make it very clear. He's going to give as little room as he needs to. You know, the most you're getting is what's the bare minimum.
Timms, Rodriguez, and Flores. The BMW in the Ferrari sandwich is Raymond Rodriguez in the 129. We look at Pelletier and Cosgrove now. Much better run for the Mercedes compared to the Ferrari through the triple apex, heading to the penultimate corner. As the classes are perfectly aligned on our timing tower. Thanks, guys. It makes our job immensely easier. Something I want to look at. I just noticed on the timing tower, Bryan Sohn leads that class after Scott Lindgren's issue. Melanie Prue, she is about 1.5 seconds away from Bryan Sohn. So let's keep an eye on that one.
Cosgrove presenting a really nice move on Pelletier. Actually
side for the
overlapping him on the exit of the corner.
Heading to
he
the
had to give it up, but
he was 0.7 seconds faster than the Ferrari man was the Mercedes-Benz. I was going to mention...
Yeah, well, that Mercedes rolls the center.
The Ferrari looks really skittish. Really skittish. Trying to defend through the S's, misses the corner. Cosgrove on the binders, takes the spot, and move Cosgrove up to 5th.
That was a pretty definitive overtake from the Mercedes. That Ferrari definitely starting to overheat the rears, it looks like.
Easy to do with how hot the track is. Tony Flores, Darius Timms, Matt Kingsbury. Kingsbury now 3.5 seconds up on Timms in the 31. Tucker Lindgren and Melanie Prue. This is for the AM class battle for second. And I thought that Prue was going to be able to take the fight to Sohn. She has dropped 0.7 seconds in the last lap alone. Tucker slipstreaming, looking to the inside. Will he send it? Yes, he will. Down the inside of the Mustang. She turns in. They do not touch, but Lindgren to second in the AM class, 8th overall. Remember, Tucker Lindgren won at least 3 races. He did 3 in a row last Grand-Am season. He knows how to drive these cars. But then there were a few races, Ray, where everything fell apart for him from leading when he was leading the race. Tale of two halves.
Yeah, I don't know, Josh. I was in the cockpit for that one, so I'll trust your memory on that.
As I was saying that, I forgot you were driving that season. I remember the bend when you snookered everyone and stole the win with that pit strategy, and still to this day made me out to be a liar.
Yeah, that was a good one, huh?
That's in the book of Ray Kingsbury strategy calls. Speaking of Kingsbury, Matt is now 3.5 up on Darius Timms, now 3 3/4 seconds. He's running his own race, minding his own business. Darius Timms looking good in second. And this is Flores and Rodriguez for the third spot.
Yeah, and Cosgrove, I think he's going to be looking to join that little scrap soon. You saw him close almost 3 car lengths just in the chicane there.
Tony Flores thought about it on Rodriguez, couldn't make it happen. Is Darius Timms holding these guys up? He was 0.8 of a second slower the last time around from Matt to Timms. And as a result, Rodriguez and Flores matched his times, but Cosgrove was faster than all 3 of them because he was being able to get the clear track and fly up to these guys.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that there's a little bit of a cork in the bottle situation going on here.
We'll see if it unravels or if Darius Timms can be Minister of Defense and maintain this second place. Throughout the field, calm. Aside from this battle that we've got for second, third, fourth, and fifth, Coulson Pelletier might be involved in this as well in a couple of moments' time. Rodriguez poking his nose out, no move done on Timms.
Cosgrove, a good run on Flores there, but I think the mid-engine Ferrari set up nicely for this next corner here. Mercedes, good front grip, though. Nice drive off. Not going to be enough to establish overlap before the last corner here.
It turned in very
Might be
well.
Able to set up a run for the
in
first.
the 9.
Oh, I'm a liar.
Final corner. Kind of spooked Flores. Made him miss the apex by just a tidbit. Now it's car length between them as we end lap 8 and begin lap 9 on board Cosgrove in the Mercedes. He was 0.8 of a second faster.
Cody's.
Looking to the inside, no. But Flores into Rodriguez in turn 1. Cosgrove gets involved as well, loses his wing according to what I'm seeing in the 9. A huge crash in turn 1.
I think Cody may have gotten
Cosgrove
into
does
the back
not.
Of
his rear wing is broken, Ray. Sorry to cut you off there. Cosgrove out, essentially. He'll have to pit early. Let's take a second look.
Yeah, he's going to have to take the quick repair. I think he's in the pit window.
How did that... Was it netcode that broke Cosgrove's
quite
wing?
a bit
Let's
of
see.
netcode. I think Cody got into the back of...
Oh, the wings touch... Okay. Honestly, guys, I didn't know that was a thing. I genuinely didn't know that was a thing. So that's new information.
Yeah, at Detroit, the Mercedes wing is so bulky that it actually clips the fence and takes itself off. Same with Long Beach. So, like, he'll be off pace, but he could drive this another 3-4 laps with minimal handling issues. It only cost him about 0.7 a lap. So he could definitely drive this within the fuel window.
That's the only thing you can do, right? Because if you pit now, you're out of the fuel window, you're going to ruin your entire race. And with no full course yellows in this series this season, that's his only hope. Kingsbury now has a 4.3 second lead over Darius Timms, and then it's a further 4 seconds to Coulson Pelletier on debut, looking good in the Ferrari after the calamity in turn 1. And we talked about to our chat, will there be chaos in turn 1? Yes, Benny Archer, there was chaos. It was not lap 1, it was lap 9, but it still happened. We look at Rodriguez and Flores. Will we have another instance? No. They both pit. Cosgrove and Rodriguez with their damage, pitting early.
Well, if you're within the pit window and you've got no rear wing, you're coming in to get a new one. It's just common sense. They must be within the fuel window here. Otherwise, I imagine Cosgrove would have probably stayed out one more, but at least they're not out of the race. They get that quick repair.
Do you gamble and take no tires with the hot track temps? Cosgrove missed his pit in the 9. He had to back up into his pit stall. He is being serviced. Rodriguez being serviced. Neither of those cars are taking tires. Rodriguez exits ahead of Cosgrove.
Cosgrove lost a lot of time. He thought he was in the box.
Kingsbury, 4.5 ahead of Darius Timms. A further 5 to Coulson Pelletier. Eric Dubois has passed Cody Cosgrove entering turn 1. Let's see. I'm curious now with Cody pitting, but he messed up the pit entry. Has the fresh rear wing. Eric Dubois in front of him on the curb. The track definitely goes the other way.
Though.
And the man from Maine avoids contact with the wall. And he's back going again.
Well, Rodriguez and Cosgrove are fired up, but the question remains, do they have the pace to make up for what just occurred? And I gotta think I could be wrong. And there was net code involved, but Cosgrove I think got into the back of Flores is what we're gonna see on the braking. Now, whether that net code indicates there would have been contact or not, that's a different question. But I think Tony Flores is kind of innocent in this situation. Obviously, so is Rodriguez.
Last time around, Kingsbury 2-minute 9.3. Let's see what Tim's runs. 2-minute 9.6, drops 0.3 of a second. Pelletier 2:11.1. So these guys, the tires are beginning to melt. Let's take a second look. Dubois over the curb. Good save. But they haven't raced Rallycross at Circuit of the Americas in a long time. And Eric just wanted to get back to that, I suppose.
Yeah, unfortunately not, Josh, huh? It's been a long time since, was it Global Rallycross or America's Rallycross was there?
2016, I believe, was the last Rallycross race in the real world at Circuit of the Americas. It was part of X Games that year.
Kind of a shame that Rallycross just can't keep a stable footing in America. It's always so entertaining to watch here.
Hopes and dreams, Mr. Kingsbury. Speaking of hopes and dreams, it's 4.5 seconds to Darius Tim still. Matt holds that spot. It's Bryan Sohn and Tucker Lindgren for the AM class. And last time around, Sohn was quicker than Lindgren by 0.7 of a second. But it's no longer nice and evenly split with Rodriguez and Cosgrove, 10th and 11th in this field. 37 minutes left to go here at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. Curious to see if Ray and Cody can drive through the red mist of anger. Well, it wouldn't be red mist for... Well, it would be red mist for both of them. What am I trying to say? I would say Raymond Rodriguez more so, as he got turned around, completely shocked from the contact with Flores. And can they make their way up the field? This is Kieran Lifflander trying to chase down Tucker Lindgren. This is for the 6th position.
Lifflander obviously started from the pit lane, so he's been making up time this whole time, but he's got some pace over the rest of the field. He's even got half a second a lap on Matt.
I stand corrected. When we watch Kieran Lifflander, we watch Evan McFarland to the inside. Lifflander on Lindgren takes the place. We're watching one of the fastest kids on iRacing that I've seen in a long time. He takes the position, move him to the 6th position. Last time around, he was fastest of all except to Tony Flores. And is Kieran really an AM driver? I personally don't think so. But according to the ticker, he is. That's interesting. Let's do a mid-race adjustment.
Didn't have him as one in Porsche Cup.
Flores and Pelletier, sorry guys, battling for 3rd. Outside of Pelletier is Flores. He'll have the inside now for turn number 10. Takes the spot on the 1. And now it's a 1-3 for Penguin RC. Ferrari 1, 2, and 3. And Flores has a huge amount of damage on the front of that car because of that contact.
Ferrari top 5, Brian. Or, Josh.
Who am I? I don't even know. I didn't see top 5.
Ferrari top 5 lockout, yeah. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
And Porsche is the first car in 6th, Kieran Lifflander. Then it's Porsche in 7th with Lindgren. Mustang with Prue in 8th. Clinton Funk, Raymond Rodriguez got by Funk for 9th. Funk in 10th in the McLaren. This battle's not over, with Flores and Pelletier over, under, back and forth between the two Ferraris through the stadium. Flores that car just does not want to turn with that front end damage, Ray.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. He's going to have to consider if he wants to get down pit lane sooner than later. But I think once you get to the clean air, you've got a little bit of an improvement, and obviously the lighter fuel load. So unless he starts going slower than Matt, I think you're going to see him stay out.
No sense in risking the double podium for the team. But the gap is increasing. Darius Timms has run a relatively clean race. He hasn't crashed. Just minding his own business. 3/10 slower that last time around on Matt Kingsbury. Flores, trouble under braking for the 77. Stays straight, stays all good. Pelletier behind him. And Cosgrove, just to update everyone, 11th spot for the 9. He's coming up on Clinton Funk. Rear wing is fixed with that fast repair, but he lost that time in the pit lane if you're just joining us. For Circuit of the Americas, SimCAR Grand-Am had an incident in turn 1. Tony Flores, Ray Rodriguez, and Cody Cosgrove all came together. Flores has not pitted. The other two did with damage.
Liftlander pretty handedly the fastest car on track the last time around, but he's also, 20 seconds behind the race leader. I just don't think you've got enough laps left to make up that much time, unfortunately. You're talking about nearly a second a lap, if not more. I
know this isn't Rallycross. I know, Brian, please don't yell at me. But Ray, I know you haven't been around NASA Rallycross in a while. Kieran Liftlander will somehow be able to get the pace, and who knows what will happen with the 20. When he gets locked in, it's scary. So let's keep an eye on the 20.
I believe you, Josh, but we're talking over a second a lap at this point, and math ain't mathin'.
Listen, I use my own 2 eyeballs and just talk about what I see, and I have seen.
Oh, and I see
Bryan Sohn
around.
That puts Kieran into, according to the ticker, the AM class lead. Well, he'll gain places if people just spin in sympathy for him, I guess. That takes Bryan Sohn out of the class lead. Let's take a second look. Kieran's right behind him in the 20. And did Bryan just too fast? Oh, yeah. Too much speed for the rear tires, and around he goes.
Basically the same thing he did with Cody Cosgrove, except he didn't get any help that time.
Flores pits in the 77. Jacks, he has gone up on the jacks to take tires. So we will step aside for just a couple moments. You won't miss a thing. We'll go ASN nonstop from Austin.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds it.
Side between these two in the terminal. This is going to get spicy.
Exiting turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap, clog at the inside line. McFarland contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. Over in the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up heading to the inside. And Magnus gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Robbie's going to hold this one.
We welcome you back to the SimCAR Grand-Am Series on ASN TV, brought to you by Penguin RC Sim, Lambert Designs, and Whiplash SimCams. We have Tony Flores. He spun from this battle. We had a three-car battle with himself, Rodriguez, and Cosgrove, the three musketeers that crashed together earlier on. They didn't take tires, and I think Flores might have realized that that was not a good idea. Bryan, Sawyer, Ray Kingsbury, Josh Mertz, ASN TV for round two of the 16th season of the SimCAR Grand-Am Series, Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. And we have an interesting race unfolding at the moment. The top five have not pitted. Darius Timms pitted and took tires. Rodriguez, Cosgrove did not. Timms is trying to find a way around Melanie Prue. Just a reminder, Whiplash SimCams, Lambert Designs, Penguin RC Sim, partners of the SimCAR Grand-Am Series. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe to ASN TV, no matter the platform, ASN TV USA,
Whoa,
but
Clinton.
Colson Pelletier
On the defense.
not allowing me to finish my ad read. These guys are all over the track in the middle of the pit stops. If you'd like to join the chaos on track, NASASimRacing.com for any and all information. And if GT3 racing isn't your thing, we've got plenty more where
Around the outside, but also
Pelletier
not on the
off
track.
the road, making his own track around the outside of Clinton Funk. It is interesting to say the least for these guys,
And
battling
here
away.
comes
Kieran
Liflander out of the
Liflander,
pit.
perfect pickup, Ray, exiting the pit lane, but he will not be affected by these three cars battling. So Liflander behind Cody Cosgrove by 7.5 seconds. He took tires. Cosgrove and company did not.
Now, if they keep battling like this, Rodriguez and Cosgrove, Liflander can get to them. Don't know if
Melanie-
they'll be able to get the mat without him.
I think Prue is struggling on the worn tires in the 11. She is giving up a lot of time in front of Raymond Rodriguez. As up front, 23 seconds between Matt Kingsbury and Tucker Lindgren. We take a look at both battles. This is Flores and Clinton Funk on the bottom box. They touch in turn
around.
10. Clinton Funk sympathy corner, but it wasn't his fault. And we're side by side on the back straight with Prue and Rodriguez. Mustang versus BMW. The Mercedes-Benz of Cody Cosgrove right behind into the braking zone. Prue in the inside takes the spot. Here comes Cosgrove. Three cars, they touch nearly. Whew. Phenomenal stuff. Rodriguez to the inside of Prue. Around goes Rodriguez in the 129. An ambitious move into turn 13, not to be.
Well, Prue's making that Mustang, I would say, wide. But she really wasn't moving.
Still
She's just driving
defense.
her line.
Tucker Lindgren is in the pit lane. So is Matt Kingsbury. We take a second look. Flores and Clinton Funk.
Yeah, it looks like
Bryan
Funk just wanted the apex.
Has not pitted. He will come out in the race lead for the moment. As we recap that contact in turn number 10. Here's in second look. Prue, Cosgrove, and Rodriguez. It all came unglued for Rodriguez in the 129. So Prue is on track still. She has not pitted. She is in the 4th position. Bryan Sohn has not pitted. We take a second look. I'm not sure how to... racing deal, Ray? I don't know how to call them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell from commentary position. You know, we look at where they're braking, where the turn-in point for the lead car is, was there overlap at that point? That's kind of how we would look at it, Josh. But here, I'm not looking to cast any blame. I'll say as a commentator, that was some good racing, and I think that it was an incidental coming together. Neither driver being particularly aggressive, but both thinking they had the right to that corner.
Tony Flores has melted the tires off the 77 even worse than he did before. As he's chasing down Tucker Lindgren. Flores did not take tires. Lindgren did. To the inside, Flores goes on the 13 to the 77 and move the 77 up a place ahead of Tucker Lindgren. Reminder to everybody, it is an extremely hot track, 87 degrees ambient, 102 track temperature, melting these tires on these vehicles.
All of this argy-bargy has allowed Liftlander to close up the cars in front of him. Well, not closing up to the lead, but, you know, Cosgrove is well within reach now. Obviously, Rodriguez is right there in front of him. He's looking for a way by him. You know, we could be seeing top 5 or even a top 4 out of Liftlander today.
Sohn
Not
pits,
sure how far
Kingsbury
ahead Sims is, but
back to the lead. We'll see what Liftlander can do. Ray, I want to bring to our attention when Bryan Sohn in the pit lane, Melanie Prue into Cody Cosgrove. She's leading the AM class, and Cody Cosgrove gets spun. Put the 11 to the race lead in the AM class. But let's try and take a second look at that. Was that an over-ambitious move?
I don't know if it was over-ambitious. She had it slowed down enough. I just think Cody backed his corner up more than she did.
So
I
now...
think that's just when you have 2 different manufacturers, that's one of the things that happen. Definitely didn't have the overlap before the turn-in.
Prue and Liftlander will be dueling for the AM class lead. And if there's one guy that I don't want behind me, it's Kieran Liftlander in the 20. Prue has run it wide in the S's, trying to hold off Liftlander. I don't know if she's got damage on that car from that contact. And Kieran Liftlander is bringing Raymond Rodriguez for company. Prue has not pitted. The 1 car to not pit. I had missed that, so apologies there. This will put Liftlander through to the AM class lead when she pits in the 11.
Dare I say Liftlander stands a very, very good chance of running up the podium. Timms is up the road, but he's not. 15 minutes left. I mean, anything's possible.
As the final third of this race. Thanks for hanging out with us on ASN Live. If you like what you see, like we talked about earlier, ASN TV USA, but ASN will be on location at the 2nd Annual Sim Gaming Expo in Schaumburg, Illinois, the September 18th through the 20th. Get your tickets and all other information at simgamingexpo.com. There's going to be plenty of vendors and
Josh,
sim rigs to try. Fun stuff. Yes, Ray.
I'm sorry. I thought the ad read was done. I was going to say, we were saying Prue's battling for the lead in the AM class, but she's really not. She's got to come down and grab some fuel.
Yep. I don't know how to read, and I missed that she was the only car to not pit. So when will
And
she
she's
pit?
gonna
The
take
answer's
that
now.
fuel now.
Liftlander to the AM class lead, ahead of the two-time, not defending, reigning champion of the AM class, Raymond Rodriguez, in the 129. So this puts Liftlander from the pits, right? He started from the pit lane to third, overall podium.
Definitely an impressive drive from Liftlander. Would have liked to see what he could have done from the grid.
So let's take a look. The biggest movers and biggest losers in this race. Liftlander up 11 and then down 11, Scott Lindgren. But that was not of his own doing. It was a connection issue. Unfortunately, Sim Racing has the equivalent of that mechanical failure. And that bit.
Despite all the
Other
drama
Lindgren.
we've had, Josh, third place all the way down to 10th are only like half a second apart each car. So we've really got a lot of positions here in the last 15 minutes that we could see some battles on track for.
Cody Crosgrove has damage to the left rear of that Mercedes. I wonder if that is going to hinder him through these corners with the bodywork damage from Melanie Prue's Mustang. Matt Kingsbury 15 seconds up the road from Darius Timms. Those two looking good to hold those positions. And Kingsbury didn't take tires, and Timms did. Kieran didn't take tires either, and I remember the Porsche burning tires. Sorry, Ray, go ahead.
No, I thought you were going to say Tim's took tires, and I thought that was interesting because I don't think there's a single track in GT3s where it's worth taking tires. You could get away with maybe taking 2, Josh, but taking 4 takes more than the fuel load. And just the time it takes for the tires to warm up isn't really worth the time lost or gained.
Well, last week, Aiden Meta took the lead. Tony Flores beat Kevin Fanning out of the pit lane on the pit stop rotation, but they both took tires, and Flores drove it off into the sand on the cold tires. So there's the risk if you take
interesting.
tires.
So I'm going to say roughly in my head, I feel like tires are going to cost you between 5 and 10 seconds, which 5 seconds could be good depending, how hot the track is, how much time you've got left, and what you think you can make up. But, 10 seconds is pretty unobtainable. That's the lead Matt pretty much. He has a little more than that, but he's pretty much the lead he has over Darius right now.
According to timing, Matt's pit stop was a 14.5. Darius was a 21.8 stopped in the box. In total, it was 7 seconds difference between those two. Kieran was actually 2 seconds slower than Matt, so interesting pit strategies there. Closest battle we have on track right now looks like Sohn and Pelletier. We look at Kingsbury, and then we go back to Darius Timms.
Pelletier is looking for the move by Sohn, and by looking, I mean he's almost got it done.
Side by side, battling for 6th. Sohn and Pelletier. Ferrari versus Ferrari, with another Ferrari of Flores in the 77, waiting for these guys to have an issue. Down the hill to turn number 11. Sohn, middle of the road, defending. Pelletier over, under, potentially on exit. Watch for him down the straight. Little bit of a wiggle under throttle, but he'll get the slipstream down the back straightaway. Let's see what Sohn will do. Stays driver's right. Is Pelletier bump drafting the 0-3 down the straightaway? Peeks to the inside. Under braking. Takes the spot.
Wow,
Can he get it stopped?
confident.
Stopped the car and takes the spot. Good move.
He had no doubt that his brakes were good enough to make that.
On board Tony Flores in the 77, looking ahead at Bryan Sohn and Colson Pelletier. Sohn tried it, couldn't make it happen. Into turns 16, 17, and 18. The corner never ends with the 3 apexes. Sohn a little bit wide in the 3rd apex. Flores better run. It'll compromise Sohn into the penultimate corner. Misses the apex. R's complaining. Will Flores make a move into the final corner? Car length away from Sohn in the 0-3. This is a battle for the 7th position on track.
And while all this is happening, Tucker Lindgren is sneaking into the picture of this group. 4/10 a lap faster than them the last time by, and up ahead
Sohn
of them.
misses the apex.
Whoa,
Flores
that's-
takes the spot, and this puts Sohn. Excuse
Whoa,
me, there. This
Liftlander
puts
over
Sohn
the curbs.
from the AM class lead. He saved it. Sohn
Oh,
now
yeah,
in the
still
clutch.
there,
Tucker
but-
Lindgren for second.
There was 4 tires off the ground, Josh, and I would be not surprised if there was some under trade damage on that Porsche.
Oof.
Rodriguez and Cosgrove are pretty linked up as well, so I think we're going to have a couple scraps for position as we come to close this thing out. But still, that biggest group is the 4 cars between Pelletier, Flores, Sohn, and Lindgren.
Remember joining the
Lindgren
conversation.
For a move by Sohn right now.
These two battling for the second spot in class, Sohn and Lindgren. Melanie Prue fourth in class, Clinton Funk, Eric Dubois, and Scott Lindgren rounding out that order. Lindgren
Cosgrove.
slipstreaming down the back straightaway, looking to the inside on Sohn for second in class. Can Lindgren get it stopped in the Porsche? He does. Put Sohn down another place.
While we're looking at this, Cosgrove is getting ever so closer to Raymond Rodriguez right now. Starting to peek his nose in on turn-ins. Not sure we'll see a move this lap, but I think that in the next lap we might see him get close enough to try to peek that nose inside. Backs up through the sweeper.
12 minutes left. Matt Kingsbury leads by 15.5 seconds over Darius Timms. Kieran Liftlander holds third and the AM class lead in the 20. Raymond Rodriguez, Cody Cosgrove. These guys involved in an
Flores is
incident
still
earlier
working.
on. Cosgrove slipstreaming. Will he send it into turn number 1? Rodriguez
Flores
couldn't
is
get
peaking.
the car planted to the apex. Cosgrove better run on the Mercedes. Down the hill.
We've got
to the
2
S's.
battles going on simultaneously. It's hard to decide which one to call, Josh.
Let's do both. Bring them both up, and we take a look at both of the battles. Rodriguez and Cosgrove top. Bottom box is Pelletier and Flores. This is for 6th and 7th. And this battle is for 4th and 5th. Plenty of action to be had. Flores hounding
He's there.
Pelletier.
He
was
wants
6
it.
tenths
He
up
just
the last time around.
hasn't done it.
Cosgrove was quicker than Rodriguez the last time around. I think Flores, if he can get a good run, get the car stopped in the turn 11 hairpin, he might make a move down the straight to turn 12. Get the car fired off. Didn't complain. Rodriguez chasing Cosgrove down the straightaway. The BMW versus the Mercedes. I don't know if Flores, he actually might be too far away to make a move on Pelletier this go around into turn 12. Tucker Lindgren closing in as well on that battle.
I'm going to be out of breath by the end of this thing, Josh. I don't know about you.
Always. It's not as easy as it looks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to keep yapping. Find a time to breathe. Flores looks on the right, tries a later apex to get the bite off the corner. He's still, well, no, he doesn't have. Pelletier closes the door. Flores got the car fixed in his pit stop. Better bite in the third apex. Penultimate corner. Pelletier defending. Flores will have the run. Does he send it to the inside? Pelletier defends into the final corner. This is exactly what Flores needs. It'll compromise Pelletier's entry off the final corner. They nearly touch. All over the track are these guys battling for 6th.
That was a lot of movement there.
Turn 1. Flores outside. Pelletier inside. Under 10 minutes left to go. These guys battling like it's for the race win, but it is for 6th position. Kieran Liftlander holds the AM class lead and 3rd overall.
Oh, Flores in a little too deep there, but he's recovered it nicely. He's not gone over the curbs. He's going to have plenty of opportunities to try to get back to Pelletier and present a move.
Flores is doing this on worn tires.
Relishing. Who's on new tires, Josh?
Pelletier has new tires. Flores does not. Flores is doing this on the same tires that he started this race on. Funk has passed Dubois for the 11th position.
I want to see Tucker's Porsche get up there and start mixing.
Tucker has fresh tires as well, judging by the longer pit stop. We might see lap traffic come into play in a few minutes. 8 minutes left. Kingsbury's getting close to Eric Dubois, about a corner away from the 000 is the 21.
I think he might be right with the tires for lingering. It looked like he went up on the jack.
Pelletier holding strong. Minister of Defense in the 1. Defending on Flores. Flores will have a better run again through the stadium, exiting turn 15.
Oh, and here
but he
comes
wiggled
Tucker
on the exit. Here comes Tucker Lindgren as well in the 13. But he misses the second apex, way off onto the curbs, giving up some time.
Oh, there goes Tucker. Slow slide from Tucker, unfortunately, but nice save indeed to lock it down, keep it from a full spin. They lost a second or two there.
It's the worst part when you're driving so well and you overcook the corner just by a pinch. The tires do not have the grip. As you mentioned, good save for Tucker, but he loses all of that time that he had. It relieves the pressure from Tony Flores to stay focused on Colson Pelletier in car number 1.
But, you know, Josh, I believe in Tucker. I think he can get back up to them.
There are 2 drivers that have not moved a single position according to our timing, and that's Matt Kingsbury and Colson Pelletier. Both have not moved a single position since the start, according to paper. If we look at just the stat book, they haven't moved, but of course they've moved up and down through the pit strategy.
You know
Matt
who's
Kingsbury.
done plenty of moving is Cody Crosgrove. Started at the back there, and he's up to 4th overall. Kieran Liftlander as well, up to 3rd overall.
Crosgrove faster than Kieran that last time around, Ray, by 0.4 of a second. We might have a battle for this 3rd spot on the rostrum. 6.25 minutes left to go in Austin.
I think, unfortunately, in the case of Crosgrove, the question is, are there any after-action actions that need to be taken? We hate to see
that after the race.
positions determined in the stewarding booth. Sometimes it has to happen.
Sometimes it has to happen. Flores and Pelletier again. Same song, 3rd verse. Deep on the brakes. Gets the car planted, gets the car rotated. Off the road goes Pelletier, and will be side by side through the triple apex.
Well, Josh,
16,
that was the 3rd verse.
17, and
chorus.
18. Sorry, Ray. On the outside, can Flores maintain it? He held Pelletier to the curb and takes the spot.
Oh, but he
Pelletier fight
overdrove the entry, Flores. His
Pelletier
back end
now
was kicked out.
To the outside of the Andretti. They nearly touch. Pelletier couldn't get the car turned. And now we'll have a duel down to turn 1. Flores holds the spot. 5 minutes left in Austin, Texas. Pelletier looks to the inside, up the hill to Big Red, turn 1. Deep on the brakes. We saw Pelletier make a move on the other side of the circuit. That was
he gave
impressive.
Tons of room.
And Pelletier takes the spot
A lot
back.
of respect there.
Good sportsmanship, boys. Good stuff here in Austin, Texas.
I mean,
Now
this
after
is
Flores into the back of
Oh.
Pelletier. Commentators curse and the 77 around and take him out of the battle.
you know, I've been watching him overdrive the entry in that turn just a little bit every lap. And, you know, it's different to line, right? Like, everybody drives it a little different. I tend to drive very tighty through there. What Tony does is he extends and carries up the speed, and then he kind of makes corners. And, well, the driver in front of him doesn't do that, so he ran into the back of him.
Subdued now, but we look. Clinton Funk and Eric Dubois battling for the 11th spot. Thanks to everyone hanging out and watching live with us. 16 hanging out on ASN
Well, Clinton
Live or on
Funk has
ASN On Demand after the fact.
5 or 6 laps, 215, 214, 217, 218. So I think he's struggling a little. His lap times at the start of the race were much better than this. Lock in, Clinton. You got this.
Racing injured in the 122. He's probably listening and driving, especially if he sent you a gift. He was wiggling down the front straight, so I'm assuming that he is listening and driving. Clinton, please stop. Scott Lindgren has pitted.
What
it has gone from
fuck?
bad to worse. that was. Reminder, our next stream, Sunday Night Lights from Knockhill in Scotland. Sunday, 9 o'clock Eastern Time for NASA Rallycross Lights. I think you'll have Bryan. I think you'll have me. We haven't figured that one out yet, but that one's going to be super fun. And our next round for SimCAR will be next Thursday, 9 o'clock Eastern Time at Miami. ASN TV USA on all platforms. Circuit of the Americas, Miami, Indianapolis, Aragon, Road America, again, that can't be right, Le Mans, Red Bull Ring, Hockenheim, and Suzuka to close the championship for 2026.
I heard someone just crash.
And it's Clinton Funk. You talked him up. We talked him up. Oh, did he get hit by Eric? He did. Never mind. That wasn't Clinton making a mistake. Well, he did to close the gap, and then Eric drove into him.
He got I was going to make a Ford joke, but anyways. Clinton has requested that we use his proper name, which is Alexander.
I stand corrected,
So
Alex.
I've
sorry.
updated his name to Alexander in the league page. The next time he shows up,
Excellent.
we'll have it
That
correct.
should fix it next week. Reminder, NASASimRacing.com if you'd like to join the chaos. ASN TV USA across all social platforms. And catch us at the Sim Gaming Expo, September 18th through the 20th in Schaumburg, Illinois. I'll be on site screaming about race cars. Bryan will be looking at me funny. Who knows what'll happen? He thinks accusing me of breaking chairs. You know, c'est la vie. Yeehaw.
You know, Josh, I don't know what's going to happen, but what I do think might happen is Kieran Lifflander and Cody Cosgrove might catch each other. And I think they might also catch Darius Timms.
I think we are on the white flag lap now as Matt Kingsbury crosses the line. 1 minute and 10 seconds left in this race. Barney is definitely throwing the white flag, so this is it for our race in Austin. Matt Kingsbury has led since the start. It has been chaotic throughout the field otherwise, especially with the contact. Cody Cosgrove, Tony Flores, Raymond Rodriguez, what could have been. I'm interested to see what will happen to the championship with the drop week. Aiden Meta not here. A couple guys out of position. Despite that, though, Cosgrove 4th, Rodriguez 5th, so still a good day for those guys despite the chaos. And I can't remember the last time that Matt Kingsbury has won a race in SimCAR. I think it's been a couple seasons. Former champion. Knows how to get it done.
I'm surprised to see him in the car other than that McLaren.
I was going to say, I don't think they've ran the Ferraris before. He normally always ran the McLaren.
Yeah, it's been like 3 or 4 seasons in the McLaren. I mean, it's kind of like how at this point, like, you've only seen me in a Mercedes for like the last, like, 2 years. Mercedes is not my favorite car. I much prefer the Porsche and the Corvette, but, you know, sometimes you just stumble on a car that's so consistent across all tracks.
Matt misses the braking point to turn 12. Best time to do it, I guess, on the last lap with 12 seconds in hand over Darius Timms. I don't think the battle will come to fruition, as you talked about with Lifflander and Cosgrove. Lifflander from the pit lane will win the AM class if he can survive this last quarter of a lap.
Yeah, he's done.
Matt Kingsbury stole the pole position away from Scott Lindgren. Lindgren was close, had a connection issue, and it's been smooth sailing from Matt Kingsbury ever since. Aiden Meta's not here, so it will not be 9 victories in a row for the Canadian. But Matt Kingsbury will take the torch and run with it in the Ferrari. Final corner, and the 21 will get it done at Circuit of the Americas, victorious in Austin, Texas. 11 seconds ahead of Darius Timms in the 31. An impressive drive for him, always improving as the Canadian. He comes home in second. Kieran Lifflander, pit lane to podium in the 20. Cosgrove, pit lane to 4th after the incident. Raymond Rodriguez comes home in the 5th position. Colson
You know,
Pelletier
Josh-
on debut, 6th spot. Yes, Ray.
I was gonna say some couple incidents out there, but honestly, the racing was so good and entertaining, it kind of overshadows any of the negativity I have. Though we're going into the last sector here, Tucker Lindgren very, very close to Colson Pelletier.
Impressive,
Sorry,
Ray.
I was
you're
on
on,
replay,
You're on
my
replay.
bad.
Winner today,
Excellent.
Matt Kingsbury
Excellent
in the
land.
21. Darius Timms in second. Kieran Lifflander wins the M class in third. Cody Crosgrove, Raymond Rodriguez rounds out the top 5. Colson Pelletier, Tucker Lindgren, Bryan Sohn, Melanie Prue, Eric Dubois rounding out the top 10. Alex Funk, Scott Lindgren, and Tony Flores, 11th, 12th, and 13th. 2 cars did not take the start. Tyler Manowes and Brandon Lambert. And despite only having 13 cars, Mr. Kingsbury, I have to agree with you. It was a very fun race, action aplenty, had a little bit of everything tonight. As we take a breath and recover from what we have just watched, let's take a look at upcoming programming, and then we'll get points situated as we exit Austin, Texas. Like we talked about earlier on, our next stream will be Sunday Night Lights from Knockhill in Scotland. That'll be 9 o'clock Eastern Time as Sunday Night Lights rolls on. If Daryl Young can maintain his points lead over Kieran Lifflander. Kieran has not run all the races, but he's certainly getting close in the championship. Our next round for the SimCAR Grand-Am Series will be next Thursday at the Miami International Autodrome, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Brian Sawyer, Ray Kingsbury, and myself, Josh Mertz, for that one. As the SimCAR Grand-Am Series on ASN TV, brought to you by Penguin RC Simulation. Live production, welcome to it. I have to find my ad read. There we go. Trusted by racers for their unbeatable support, rock-solid product guarantees, and high-performance sim gear. When you want equipment you can rely on lap after lap, Penguin RC Simulation delivers every time and is proud to present the Penguin RC Simulation Drivers' Championship. By Lambert Designs, the official graphics partner for SimCAR. From promotional materials to custom paint liveries, Lambert Designs has it all. For more information, join the NASA Discord and contact Brandon Lambert. And finally, by Whiplash SimCams, bringing you every angle, every lap, no matter the track, car, or series. Visit facebook.com/WSimCams. And thank you to Andrew Cardinale IV for camera support all season. If you like what you saw tonight, be sure to subscribe to ASN TV, no matter the platform. At ASN TV USA, you'll get broadcast updates every day that we are streaming. And if you'd like your content broadcasted, you can contact us at asnTVUSA.com. If you'd like to race in SimCAR or in NASA, we have something for everyone in 2026, whether it's the GT3s that we witnessed here, Rallycross, Cross Car, Stage Rally. Bring an idea to us. It does not matter. We're always looking for some fun. NASASimRacing.com, over 750 people in our Discord server. And speaking of North American Simulated Auto Racing, and ASN TV will be on location for the second annual Sim Gaming Expo in Schaumburg, Illinois, this September 18th through the 20th. Get your tickets and all other information at simgamingexpo.com. Before we say goodnight, let's take a look at the championships exiting the second round in Austin, Texas. Interested to see what this will do. And Matt Kingsbury to the top of the board, up 3 spots. Darius Timms, Raymond Rodriguez all up 3 as they raced tonight. Flores down 1, Meta down 4, Prue up 7, impressive for her. Sohn up 8, up 15. Kieran Lifflander, Scott Lindgren, Kevin Fanning 9th and 10th. Fanning down 8. Lambert, Manowes, Crosgrove, Lindgren, Pelletier, Coletta Johnson, Dubois, Funk, and Moftaw, the top 20 in the overall championship.
Now, disclaimer, Josh, because the COTA results are very unofficial. I'm taking a gander at the results, and I see in our top 5, 3 drivers who went over the incident limit.
Oh. The
And
post-race
that's
penalty
Lifflander,
of some sort.
Cosgrove, and Rodriguez. So, upon review, that needs to be done. There'll be determined if there's any time penalties applied to any of those drivers.
We'll just have to wait and see. Of course, we will take a look next week. Melanie Prue on top in the AM class, ahead of Bryan Sohn, Kieran Lifflander, both the Lindgrens, Jeff Johnson, Coletta Moftaw, Dubois, and Funk. Impressive for her, but it's a tie with Bryan Sohn at the top of the
Four
table.
drivers within a point of each other.
That's going to be something to watch all season. Penguin RC Sim ahead of Shift E-Racing, Silverback down 2, Grassroots Racing Lawnmowers, Lime Tree Racing in the top 5. Move over at Speedy Time, Team Watson Racing, KLR Black Phantom, Team Alta, and Soulpack rounding out the top 10. Give me a final thought, Mr. Kingsbury. And then, well, never mind. Hold on. We have manufacturer points. Hold on. Brian confused me. Porsche ahead of Ferrari, Ford Mustang, BMW, Corvette, McLaren, Mercedes, and Aston Martin. All 8 makes have raced a race. Granted, only 2 races so far this season, but good to see the manufacturer diversity. Now Brian has nothing else to surprise me with, Ray. You are free to have your final thought.
Yeah, just a really fun race to watch. I mean, we saw a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of incidents. We saw a number of incidents that were unfortunate, but I think that's the nature of this track. We also saw some really respectful racing. Flores and Pelletier, that was some of the best racing I think I've seen in a long time. We're talking 4 or 5 laps going at it, and they never touched each other until Flores got into his back a little bit running around. But and you know, they were on different strategies, different tire strategies, different driving style, and yet you know, they were duking it out. So I was entertained. I know you were entertained. I had fun.
We see small car counts and we get a little panicky, right? Oh no, there's only 13 cars. And I won't bore you with the same spiel I've done about American Le Mans, 2 cars, whatever, photo finish. It doesn't matter how many cars there are. You only have to have 2 cars to have a good race. And that's what we watched. We had battles throughout the field. We had some crashes. We had some mistakes. We had some slipping and some sliding and some argy-bargy. And either way, it was super fun. The checkered flag has fallen on the evening here at Circuit of the Americas. On behalf of our entire production staff, my name is Josh Mertz. Thank you for joining us for tonight's coverage of the SimCAR Grand-Am Series. Congratulations to our winners, Matt Kingsbury and Kieran Lifflander. Be sure to join us Sunday for lights or Thursday for more SimCAR in Miami. But until then, so long, everyone.